Okay, hello everyone. Thank you for joining us to Concordia University's Forest Space. Thank you for joining us for today's event, opikiskwêwin, tâpiskôc, miyo-maskihkiy, Good Medicine Sharing. It's a conversation with Joseph Naytowhow and Yvonne Chamakese and some other guests. Just to note that we are streaming to YouTube live from Forest Space. We're also located here on unceded Indigenous lands in Chitek Lake, Montreal. And we would like to extend our gratitude to the Naytowhow Nation, who are the custodians of the lands and waters on which we gather today. We respect the continued connections with the past, the present, and future of all Indigenous peoples and nations who have and continue to make these lands and waters their homes. Here at Forest Space, we work with our university community. We help mobilize knowledge, co-create daily activities, examining research questions, projects, things happening all across the university. We're also running today's event as a live stream Zoom meeting. So everyone joining us there on Zoom, we would love your comments and your questions. Just pop those into the chat and we can read those out. And those of you here in the space, as you can see, we're having some microphones set up, and just so that everyone on Zoom can hear, we'll pass microphones around if that makes sense to do so. Okay, it's now very much my pleasure to pass things over to Dr. Catherine Opikiskwêwin Richardson, full professor in the School of Community and Public Affairs, as well as Concordia's University Research Chair in Indigenous Healing Knowledge. Kathy, it's great to have you back.
Thanks so much, Douglas. Good morning, everyone. And yeah, thank you for coming and being with us. My name's Kathy Richardson. Nitsigasen, Kinu Iskweyu, Nia Ote Pamiswak, Nia O Mama, Ote Fort Chipewyan. So basically, I'm Métis. My mom is from Fort Chipewyan in northern Alberta. So we have Métis, Cree, and some Gwich'in ancestry. And yeah, I'm the chair of Indigenous Healing Knowledges, and really, really delighted to be here with some special guests today. We have Jayla Bourne, Joseph Naytowhow, Yvonne Chamakese, and Mo Clark, and they're all going to introduce themselves more fully in a moment. But we just wanted to start in a good way, and thank you, Douglas, for acknowledging the land. So we're going to turn it over to Mo and Joseph, and we'll start with a prayer and a song. And our goal today is really to raise the love vibration of the planet and to bring some good energy to this whole area, which is very intense and chaotic here in downtown Tiohtià:ke. So thank you, Mo, and hand it over to you to welcome the people. Do you want this one?
No, just tell them the brief, a little brief introduction about the prayer.
Yeah.
So it's important because there's a lot of things happening right in the world. So it's good to situate us here in Montreal. Thank you, Catherine, for inviting us, and the Concordia University, and welcome all the students that are here and those that are out there in the Zoom world. And so the Kagi Simone Motakagwapsitachum nehiyaw opikiskwêwin. So the word, the Cree is what we call nehiyaw, back home. So that's a proper term of the people that we come from, nehiyaw. And Kagi Simone is the way to pray, or I don't know if that's a proper word. Kagi Simone is a much bigger word. Because it involves all our ceremonies. So this is a very good way to start. So we'll start this Kagi Simon in nehiyaw. Sorry, little error there. You know where I got the pin? It's a rolling one. 2 minutes I've got there and go ahead. It's a good speakers. That's good, man. I say me the pick is oh yeah. Escuta más como paskikkiy miyo-maskihkiy, opikiskwêwin. Magista moko, treaties. Kaikki joka miyo paikannes, miyo nehiyaw. Ja, sit maakkineitsi. What? Ispinkin oikeasti tämä tosi opikiskwêwin. Kaya simun ka siitä tutuminaan tumaga nehiyaw. Nehiyaw kutsun ka siitä. Kun olet smaut kielen kitsi, ei teki töntä, missä mokun on niin siltä. Kun mä en ole, timmo on sana kaikki. Sun pitää kysyä sanoa. Mä näen. Se on tällainen säkeä. Tämä vaan se on mahtavaa. On mutsilla. Se on niin mahtavaa. Omin kanssa ottamaankin teetäkin tuottamaan rahaa. Siitä mun otin. Otin sotakun vielä niin annot sekä nehiyaw. Nehiyaw on se latinen nimi. Se on jos on paikista mainiin, niin se on isä. Jatkeita taas. Oh.
Just put it on the table in front of us.
Okay, everybody say one ska.
Once,
Not bad, I can't hear you.
Yeah, it means wake
No,
up.
no, that just means wake up. So you can stay seated, it's okay. We'll make it easy on you. So one ska means wake up. Piwapan. You say piwapan. And that means light is appearing from the east. Uma means this. Sa say
Say,
already, that means already. Biesi sek,
yes, is up.
and make a little, like a little bird. That's the birds. So I say biesi sek, already the birds, they come walk, are singing, they're already singing. Bimiunagwan, crash course in nehiyaw and opikiskwêwin. Crash course in Cree. So miyo-maskihkiy means it's coming into beauty. Kitaski no, our land. That's important. All of us is our land. So that's the words to this song. And it's a sunrise song, but it also means sung during round dance time in the winter time. So it's a wintertime song for people who had losses. So it's a grieving, coming from the grieving Richardson, the ceremony and dance. So that's where it comes from. We'll do a couple verses of a song that came to me many years ago. It's called miyo-maskihkiy. So if you want to say miyo-maskihkiy, you're welcome to say miyo-maskihkiy. That means it's beautiful. Okay? The whole world is beautiful. I am beautiful. They are beautiful. You're all beautiful. Miyo-maskihkiy. And it just basically means this song is a welcome song. So there's more words to it, but we're just going to use that one. So if you hear that as we're singing it, just burst it out. Enjoy this if you can.
Drown out the bus.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pretty loud out there.
Is that door open? It is. Okay.
Oh, okay. You are sin, you are sin.
Hi. Thank you so much for the molecules in the room are dancing now, and we're warming the place up. So just to say a word or two about Indigenous healing knowledges, what we're really trying to do is just to bring more love and light and care, collective care into the university environment. And so we've been planning this panel for at least half a year. And we wanted to have a youth perspective and bring our blessed elders from Saskatchewan. And when I say that word today, I'm always thinking in my heart of the people that are being affected by fires all across the prairies. And it's, we need to send them a lot of love. Yvonne was just telling me this morning that a whole reserve has been destroyed and people are missing, and we need to generate a lot of love and good energy to send in that direction. So what I'd like to do to start with is just ask everyone to introduce themselves, to tell them to tell you who they are and what they're up to. And then we're going to have a second round where we're going to talk a little bit about like what is healing? What do we need to do for ourselves and for each other and for the community, to feel good and to process suffering and hardship that maybe we've lived in the past, and we really want to move into the future in a good way with more lightness, and to by doing our own healing, to free up the capacity to care for Mother Earth and for each other and the community. Because we got a lot of work to do on this beautiful planet, right, Joseph? Yeah. So, Jay, are you okay if I don't have a feather? I just wanted to say too, I brought a tobacco tie for all of the speakers, and you probably know this, but we offer tobacco in exchange for the knowledge that we're going to receive from our teachers today. So would you like to tell a little bit about yourself? Yeah, that should be working.
I'm Jay Laborn, or Jayaode Laborn, you could say. My pronouns are he, it, and I identify as two-spirit. I grew up in Ganawage. I'm Ganyakehaka, and I moved to a town called Chattagy. It's like right next to it. And other than that, I grew up being a traditional dancer. I traveled the Ganawage and the States dancing with my family. We were called the Deer Clan. But my grandfather got older and we don't really do that as much anymore, so it's really nice to be here today and hear you guys sing, because I've been needing it. Other than that, right now I'm pursuing a career in hairdressing, and I'm looking for work, like as an assistant. Other than that, I don't know.
We can start there. We'll get more out of you later. Thank you. Over to you, Joseph.
Ahau, tatamskat na kakyo. Nio mayaka nehiyaw, ikaminayaka kamigiskan kiskap motion sikatakon. Ikaminayaka kutakuihon na kukumaatagino. Utio teniayaka aktahasagaihanika sikatsigati. Ikwak swagektik stapananik kataguti siguk chomnog. Ikwamigwas itika hayayano maya kawigian saskatumanatagwaski sikatio. Ikwayaka ikta yataskianik tamigwatsik tia kistiks namatugam gokoma Indigenous Law Center sikatamuk. Ate kuni hiyo ikata hamuita atisku kisnaho tansi sikati. So igoma ni hiyo on kapita migom igom outsinigan kan nehiyaw yakom kan nehiyaw ito ya igi migos yakom kapasita ya ikusum migos kan nehiyaw mutata kakyo. So I am using the nehiyaw opikiskwêwin. Down here, they use the term Cree a lot, but that's not really an appropriate term. But people got used to it. I think that derived from the French. But nehiyaw, nehiyawitwawin, nehiyawak, nehiyawatsuwin. Those are the four foundations of who I am in Cree. And it basically means I'm a Cree, I speak Cree, I pray in Cree, and I also wander around as a Cree or nehiyaw. I'm from Sturgeon Lake First Nation. We call it in Cree, Naytowhow, net casting lake. And it's close to a town called Prince Albert. I don't know who Prince Albert was, though. I never met him, so I don't know who he is until I meet him. I might tell you a little bit more about Prince Albert. It just happened to be where I was sent to at 5 years old. There's a lot to introducing yourself because you reference it around your relatives, the place that you're born, and who the people are that are part of that community and why they were put there. So that's brief introduction. We'll be doing more. We're going to do an activity here after. I want to put you to work. So that's what I'm used to doing when I'm teaching about Cree culture, nehiyaw. I get people active. So I'll just pass it over here to my sister who's beside me here. We're from different communities, but we might call it that we are part of a spiritual family, extension of our biological family. So I'll pass it over to my Nimis, my elder sister.
How kakiok tatamskat no nistan pait takaki tino they have that I got invited by Mo and her. I'm so hard of remembering names. If you were to tell me I'm related to you, I would have known right away. So I know who I'm talking about. Well, my name is Yvonne Chamakese. My spiritual name is opikiskwêwin, sweet grass woman. Iwa iti ko tohtian kakio nehiyaw. That's how yuksigipis Naytowhow. This is a new thing for me. I don't really talk to. I hope you don't mind. Anyway, I'm kind of nervous. I think you noticed that right away. But I'm so proud to be here. I'm nanaskoman. Igaminan simsa ipiwichiok ipisitoscout. Ota. Igamina uskini gota kapipikskit and trakito kawi antioxid. When you Chitek niento tohtan, just kiusagaikani. Iwa magigante hayanaya one arrow kapiawaskonan. That's the name of that reserve. One arrow. I've been there for 33 years, but I've born in Chitek and I stayed there all my life till I was 48. I'm not much of a like this. This is really new. Maga inanasko moyano taipito tian pintamgoyan is opikiskwêwin. Nehiyaw opikiskwêwin no matapoy metanis ukimaga. Iwa mama nam stein tapsitanan. Nehiyaw yakikismaya kawassak. Tamoya iwan saka mugipiwan sek. Maga uit. Iwa maga ikagupitwataya. Ikagupitwataya kan maya. Askikan ikawawassago kan nehiyaw wan kakuy machitatsk. So what we're trying to do, we're trying to bring the culture back to the reserve that they lost. And I think you guys know what I'm talking about. That's taking our children away from the reserves. It's really, really powerful. Oniaw paisok so uyaw kakyogi maskam guyak. Maga kakami mo yak to sagi ton kitmagi ton ksiwata taton ignani kapachita yak. Stay oma skotium sona jitskimagan. Tanami chita isino skotsa kakyo atimo kakyo wayuiti gatihtahi sa taski ako cha. Uktina kito tahis yago mamste gatutskimaga kome tamay kotska isino. Iwawa nanas kumawaya it seems. Ipiwichot mste pisitoscout and I mean, one thing I was really proud of myself yesterday. My first flight. I have never been on a flight before. Even though I'm 76 years old, but that was my first flight. And it was just incredible. It was really, really good. I felt so good. I wasn't nervous or anything until after I got off the plane. But being on a plane, it was really good. And coming here is just beautiful. Just seeing wonderful people. No.
Tanse. I'll hold it. Kananaskom Naytowhow. Get the tamahin. Nia oma nitigasan mo. Ekwa nigamopia seo. Ekwa osawikino seo. Nitotsino tosquanik. Magani wigan jojage munyang. Nia oma apitao egosisan o tepem seo. Ekwa munyao. Nia oma onegamo. Ekwa tastawainu. So I'm really honored to be here and honored to be here with Yvonne and Joseph and Jay and Kathy and all of you. Also want to name Adalia, who supported in bringing these two elders here today. So I'm Métis. My Métis family originates from Saint François Xavier in Treaty 1, Red Rivers. But also St. Boniface, La Brette Mission, and St. Paul des Métis in Alberta. So I come from the Otipimsewak Métis government, which is the OMG. Yes. Love that. I'm a member of the Métis Nation of Alberta, and I'm also Norwegian, French, and British. So I want to acknowledge all of those ancestors who came across on the boats, and those who were the bison hunters. We're going to be playing a big bison drum later today. And so just really thinking about those beings, those four-leggeds, Pasqua and Mostoswak, and how important they are in upholding who we are as people and how we walk in the world. You know, miyo-opikiskwêwin, ekwa miyo-pimatisiwin, ekwa miyo Pimote, you know, we have to walk well, we have to speak well. And so, you know, when I was passing around that smudge, the miyo-maskihkiy, the medicines this morning, just thinking about all the teachings of all the Kiteayak, all the elders, the Kiseyinowak, the kind, gentle-hearted ones, you know, that we want to bring that gentleness into our bodies, into our minds, and into our spirits, hopefully every day. And how to ritualize, you know, how we understand and uphold good life and good medicine in our lives. And so for me, I do that through the drum, through nigamo, singing and songs, through the sisikwan, these beautiful rattles, and through a lot of facilitation and education. So I do a lot of workshops in and around town. Like I sound like I live in like some small place, you know, a small little metropolitan. But also how to make space, how to be more inclusive for all of our relations, you know. So we're all being impacted by this thing known as colonialism, and how that's created really strict binaries and harsh protocols. And so really questioning some of those things, you know, what really is tradition and what was way of safe holding or safeguarding who we are as people in these ceremonial practices after and through genocide and colonization and, you know, forced displacement and church and state and all those pieces. So when I hear Jay identify as two-spirit, I also identify as two-spirit. And in language we say tastawayak, which means in between. So we don't take sides. We dance and we play and we manifest in the middle. And we were talking this morning at the kitchen table over some French toast. Just wanted to make sure they felt, you know, warmly welcomed in this Montreal. But we were talking about miskasôwin. And, you know, miskasôwin is one of the teachings of the treaty elders of Saskatchewan. And miskasôwin is to belong. But more than just to belong, it's to find, to look, to have strength in finding, continually finding where we belong, because we belong in a lot of different places. We don't just belong in one place. And so that in-betweenness, that tâpiskôc, is really, I think for me, it's about being the wanderer, being the one who's moving around on the land and constantly finding sites of safety, sites of love, sites of healing, and sites of wagutawin, which is kinship. And that kinship is all of those animals and all of those plants and all of those trees and those stones and those waters. And I'm thinking about all of them as we have these talks today and all those who are impacted by the fires, that it's not just human life forms who are being displaced. It's all those babies, all those little deer, all those little elk, all those little bear, all those plants. I just saw a photo that a friend posted from Banff. I was in the Banff Center about 2 weeks ago in Treaty 7. And all those elk coming to have their babies, you know, how they move and how they migrate and how important that process is. And so really thinking about all these beautiful little ones who are coming into form. You know, when we say one is ska, it's like waking up, but it's also like being birthed, you know, the eastern door, springtime. We're not yet at that solstice mark, so we're still in that sigwan, that springtime place. So I guess I'm just thinking about renewal. I'm thinking about how important these conversations are, these QKWin, and I'm grateful to be here.
Okay, the lodge will be starting here soon, so Kathy, is it okay we just continue on?
Yeah.
All right. We're, Yvonne and I are doers, so we do things. We do ceremony for people. We do sweat lodge raising for people. We make our own lodge. Guess what we're doing today? How many have been or seen a sweat lodge here, purification sweat lodge? How many have built one? Okay. It's your opportunity to build one. So this is a simulation, but sometimes simulation can also feel real. So thank you, Jay, for taking the tobacco over there. And give us up to Mo and Kathy and Yvonne here. Okay? So what we're going to do first of all is we're going to move this table over to the side here. That's the first thing we got to do. So get the obstructions out of the way, clear the land. Oh, no, sorry. Clear the space. English is such a complex language, you know. So we'll move the table over over there so it's out of the way. This is going to be our land base where we're standing here, this nice carpet. That'll be our land. So just stay where you are for now. The other people have got their tobacco. So we're going to use this here as our, as soon as we're done moving here, we'll make a little circle here. Oh, does that look beautiful? Look at that. We open up the land. And sadly, this is how a lot of our land is looking today with all the fires. It's just, but it's in there are trees and shoots that'll be coming up soon. So now that you're all got tobacco, that's the traditional offering for someone asking you to help, to be of service. So everybody coming here will make a circle here. We'll make a circle, so we're all situated in a circle. And I'm going to give you tasks, you know, but first of all, number one thing is to select your place where you're going to do ceremony. That's the first thing. So often that takes time, right, to walk around, look around, and then that's what happened in our communities. We look for the perfect place. that we can do ceremony. So we got to walk around and feel the energy of the land. So that's what we're, and here, when I saw this, I thought, this is perfect. This is our land here, and this is Mother Earth. Something fell from the sky. I'm not sure where that came from. Some little metal piece there. So tatamskat no. I'm going to number you in threes. I think threes, fours. Let's see, four. Four is good, eh? Yeah. So fours. Yeah, just four. I think 4 groups will be good. That'd be enough, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. I learned how to count. I know when I was 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. I'm going to maybe designate Jay and Yvonne here to sit back a little bit. You'll be the observers and also guides, okay? When they bring in we'll work together, okay? The 3 of us here. So if you got a number 1, just form that group over here, and then number 2 over here, 3 over there, 4 over there. So 1's over here. So you form your little group. These are not going to be really extremely difficult tasks, but there will be, nevertheless, a little bit of jobs. So this is number 1s are going to look for the willows. The willows is what we use for a lodge. So willows. And number 2 will look for the stones. Numbers 2, the stones. And number 3 will look for the wood. Look for the wood. And number 4 will look for water that helps and to prepare the sweat lodge when we have the fire and all the wood burnt up and the rocks are situated together. So we'll start there. Well, I want you to look around in your small groups and get those resources. They're in here in the building. So you just have to wander about and come back here in 2 minutes, okay? You got 2 minutes to find, 2 minutes. Normally this would take a whole day, right? So stick together as your group, stick together as a group. Yeah, put your tobacco down. The tobacco is for putting down, for taking the resources from the land. So stick together with your group. You're all one group together each. So if you start wandering separately, that means you're lost. You have to remain as a group. Yeah, so have a seat here, Jay. Hey? They'll find him, Jay. Put your tobacco down, bring your resources. You probably figured you had to go outside the building, right? But not in this case. Here. So you are in our community what they call uskapiusak. You're the helpers, servers. Sometimes they say janitors. So uskapiusak, how are you doing? Whatever you found, come back. Come back to the circle. Very good. All right. Where'd you guys get all those resources? Boy, you guys are so great. I forgot to mention that. So, but tobacco is also an offering. You can place it down here on Mother Earth. So this is the Earth here. So you can place it in the middle here. That's fine. That's great. Thank you very much. And thank Mother Earth for the resource it gives us. She gives us. She, he, they, we, what, them. It's what is land, right? Okay. Did you find all the willows? I think there's a bit more willow somewhere. Just look around. Oh, I think she found it. It was hidden right by Montreal Mountain. Montreal. This is going to be the interesting part. So now the willow people, distribute your willows amongst the servers, all the helpers here. So give whoever, each one of them going around, give them a branch. So you are now a willow. You are now a willow. You become one with the willow. Does everybody have a willow? Just about. So give the extra ones to Jay here. Jay, hang on to that willow. Great. Okay, that's so awesome. Okay. Just feel that willow, smell it, just feel it, and be the willow. Just hold it up, and then stretch a little bit this way. You know how willows are, right? They're very flexible, and they blow in the wind. So you're being the willow. That's what you're doing. So before that willow was chopped down, it was a living being. But then when we took it off the branch, we've brought it here and we're bringing it back to life. So it's going to become this lodge. Okay. Now this is where Yvonne helps me. So which direction is south? Who has the directional thing? Is that south? Okay, this is south this way. Oh, right on. So this is really good. So this is who put tobacco here? You did exactly the way it's supposed to be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 directions. I'm going to add a little more over here, so a little more. So these are the cardinal directions for this lodge. There's 5 of them. Center. And I also put a little one here for Mother Earth right in a doorway. So there's one in the doorway. So that's the direction there. So Yvonne, get the first willow and bring it over here in the south with somebody, with the same person. Because they're the willow. You got to bring the whole willow. Oh, there we go. See? Yeah, I was just testing her. Okay, it's going to be in a fairly big circle, so the lodge is going to be a little bit bigger. So, okay, so this is the doorway. Jay is the doorway is this way now, so it has started a doorway. So, so Jay, put your arm, speak. Yeah, I don't know if you might get really tired after a while, so maybe go like this. Better to position yourself that way. If you go this way, you're going to get really exhausted, because it's going to take about 20 minutes to build this lodge. Okay, so yours is directional north, strict directly. Now, we need the north. Okay, so we're going to find the other side, the other. Very good. There we go. I'm going to follow you. Round, around, da, da, da. Beautiful. See, we got to fit in there. Yeah, we'll move these chairs out of the way here. Thank you, Mo. Okay, that's next one. maybe move over to the right a little bit, Jay, just a little bit. And we also, what's your name? Jordan. 2 J's. Okay, Joseph's my name. So there you go. Okay, now the second one. So this is what happens. We put our lodge up. But the thing that happens before that is, if you can imagine, you're the willow and you're sunk into the earth. So when we dig these holes, we put tobacco in those little holes. So we also honor the earth because we've just gouged into it. Okay, this is cool. So, Yvonne, I'll just follow her lead. So we're doing the 4 directions first. So this is very cool. So we've, this is a more contemporary version of a sweat lodge show. Aha, uto may sa kapito ko yung sisi. Kutaga ko ta kapito tao. Yeah. Oh. Okay, so this is south, right? There's the doors over here. Yeah. So you're facing the north. Yeah, you're facing north. So the north is that direction. Don't forget to breathe. Everybody take a deep breath, because you're breathing life into the willow, the lodge. So don't forget to breathe and relax. It's looking beautiful. This is awesome. So it's really important to, we have the wood too, eh? We have the wood. Okay, Jay's already got a job there. Maybe I'll get, Mo, can you grab the wood? Because we have wood there, see the wood there? And you got the water, okay. Yeah. And place it over here, Dahlia, right over here, because this is the door right behind Jay. And this lady here, what's your name? Prudence. So maybe centralize it, Dahlia. So this is the doorway, see? Okay. Oh, sorry, there you go. So that's the wood. Now, we'll have to get the stones, eh? The people with the stones. So maybe, Dahlia, can you get there the stones? Gather the stones. Wow, you guys look great. If it gets a little too tight there, back up a little bit. Just back up a little bit. It's going to get a little snug. Yeah, give yourself room to breathe. So you can see the 4 directions are all, has 2 doorways now, right? There's 2 doorways, and 4 doorways. Until you actually put it up, you won't really completely understand, but at least you have an idea, right? Having a sense of how it's constructed. Some lodges are built with all the willows going in the middle. They call it the bear lodge. This is a buffalo lodge that you're building. So this is a buffalo lodge, and me and Yvonne are the buffalo lodge keepers for our lodge. So we look after the lodge for the people. We're only keeping it and doing ceremony with it. We never say this our lodge. We don't position ourselves as if we are all the power and, the creator position. I get to see you. Okay, it's looking good, maybe make a little space in here between Jay and Prudence. Make a little space in because we're going to have somebody do ceremony inside there. Just because we got to bring the water in and the rocks and all that. Woohoo! Afpuitarina ikakinipo ang atit munan tomsats. So some people will stand outside the circle, just because we don't have the space. Maybe back up one step. Everybody take one step and move over that way a little bit, one step forward that way. So, because but stay on the grass, go further back, maybe another 2 steps back behind you. That's better. Woohoo! Because we need the space over here for the fire. So, Adalia, can you position the rocks around the wood so it looks like there's a fire that's being prepared here? And then put the wood, and we'll put a candle in the middle to represent the fire. So make space in the middle to, you can discard, put the candle in the middle if you can. That looks so beautiful, look at that. That's our fire. So the sacred fire has to be south, that's an altar. So everything has 3 parts to it. There's so what are you making? What we're making is the womb too. We're making the mother's womb. And yay, this looks so good. This is so beautiful. So there would be a hole in here too. We dig out a hole in there where the rocks will fit in there. And that's another part of this altar. This altar goes from there to the fire, and there's an altar in front of it here, so we don't have that here. Right on. Okay, light up the fire, Delia. We're going to start the fire. It'll get a little smoky here, so be careful. There's matches on the table. Okay, right on. How's everybody doing? How are your willows? Okay, we need a cover now. We need a cover. So I think Mo has a cover for our lodge. So that would be the last part of it, is completing the cover. Now the fire is going. So now there's inside and then outside. Clockwise. It's good for Adalia to do this because she's going to put up a lodge in her land on Saturday. You can back up a little bit, Catherine. Just back up. Okay, you don't have to be part of the circle. Just come right back and just back up. It doesn't have to be completely like touching all the time. And put your arm a little lower. So you guys are going to... Are you sweating already? Are you having a sweat? So, do we have a cover? After. Oh yeah, maybe that should go first, eh? The ribbon should go first. Okay, so the fire is heating up the wood. See the fire there? It's heating up the wood. It's not heating up the wood, it's heating up the stones, but it looks more artistic than it does organic, the way we normally do it. Normally the stones are on top of the wood. Okay, there we go. So this is matutsan. Everybody say matutsan. Then you could say nia, oma, matutsan. I am the sweat lodge. I don't want to trick you into saying something that might incriminate you or something, but this this means I am the sweat lodge. You are, because you're the willows. You are the willows, and you make a beautiful lodge. So if you could imagine our people starting with a ceremony like this, when the treaties were being signed, this is what they did, was they used they used the sweat lodge to ask for guidance. Anyway, as long that's good. That's good. Yeah, that's all. As long as it looks like it, right? Okay. All right. Okay, everybody clap. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, we'll get Yvonne and Mo to sit inside there. And I'm going to get Dahlia is going to be the helper, is going to bring the water in. They wouldn't bring the rocks in first. You're going to bring the rocks in first. So bring about 7 rocks would be good. Bring 7 rocks and centralize them where the tobacco is. So this is would be the next step, is to bring your elders in and your helper, the singers. And the rocks are hot, but Dahlia is powerful. So they are placed in 5 directions also. You guys look great. You look so beautiful. You got to make a beautiful lodge. So this is a very beautiful ceremony. And now bring the water in. So we might have a splasher. I don't know if we have any more extra willow, but sometimes there's a splasher here. So somebody made a splasher, so here it is. There's the water, so we're splashing the. It has a hissing sound. And I think we keep the fire going to keep the stones hot. So that's so beautiful. Oh, they're starting to sweat. So this, so if you can imagine, it is usually pretty dark inside. It's very pitch black. And the healing comes from the medicine woman or medicine people that are in there. They do the healing with special medicine. So all the medicines we use in the smudging this morning, those would be inside here. So, and then there would be singing like we sang this morning. Those 2 songs are actually sung in our lodge that we sang this morning. So that's our teaching lodge, our healing lodge, our learning lodge. So this is what this represents. Isn't that great? Is that beautiful? Yeah. So thank you for participating and trusting the lodge building. Yeah, just take a couple of pictures. It's okay. This is a simulation, but it could feel real. This is so beautiful. And we had just enough people, right? Okay, now the ceremony is over, so people take a picture there, Jay. That's right, go for it. So the people are all finished, so Yvonne and Mo and Dahlia, they come out, take this out. And I think what we'll do is just place the willows right down where you're situated, so keep it on the floor. And we'll sit around this lodge here and just maybe you can go back to your chairs. I think you're too far, actually. You should bring your chairs up a little closer, right? You're very far over there. So we'll put it down nice and easy, all together. All together now, all together now. Gorgeous, that's awesome. So, yeah, nicely. Good. Oh, just stay here for a second. So maybe some comments, I'll just pass the mic around, okay? See if people have comments about this. Should we go clockwise or counterclockwise? And your name, yeah, just go briefly. I'm Willow. No.
I really like this experience because I've been in a lodge before, like a sweat lodge, and this was like still for some reason as like connecting. So I really like that.
My name's Adalia. Yeah, really beautiful sharing this play in here. The hissing sounds were my favorite.
I'm Mo. Yeah, it's interesting because I was given this little copper pail by one of my kokums, one of my ceremonial grandmas, elders. And we did a lodge out in Treaty 1 in Winnipeg with all Métis kin. And the first 4 times that I poured was for the miyo-maskihkiy, who are the little people. And so I feel like we've kind of done a bit of an honoring of the little people today. And, they need the lodges and they need our prayers too. So it felt really special to be able to use this.
Hello, I'm Prudence. Thank you so much for this experience. I really like the symbolic of everyone holding the dome for the ceremony to happen. Yeah, thank you again.
Hi, I'm Madison. I'm really struck by the generosity, the ability to have this sort of representational ceremony, especially inside an institution like Concordia. So thank you so much for bringing this here.
Hi, I'm Emily, and I'm just really in awe of the power of the four directions. Feels so good to be moving in space and time with those directions centering this moment. I'm very grateful and appreciative.
Hi, I'm Rupert. Yeah, this was a nice experience to remember. Yeah, you have those images pop into your mind of being in the sweat lodge and what it's like, and recreating that. So yeah, it was a great experience.
Hi, I'm Kathy. When I look at this cluster here, I think if we made it into a ball, it would just be like Mother Earth, and the four directions really, you know, it's the whole world right here. And so with the prayers and the love and the good energy, we can send it all over the globe. And we have the tree people and the stone people, the fire and our ancestors, and really the flowers. All living things are represented here in some way. And yeah, I think the ancestors are with us, guiding and helping us to create a real like healing and loving experience for the planet. Hi, Chika.
My name's Ed. It was very nice to collectively construct this miniaturized sweat lodge inside this bigger place, and with having all the elements, including the candle, was very nice too.
Hi, I'm Maya. I've participated in sweat lodges, but I've never participated in the construction of one, and I realized today that that itself is ceremony as well. I keep in mind today everyone or anyone that should be here or should be able to participate, and I feel such a privilege to be here as well, but I also keep them in mind. Yeah, thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Jordan. It's my first sweat lodge, so I'm happy to be here. It's it's a powerful experience. It's very relational.
Hi, I'm Laurie. I've done sweat lodge before, and I had a deja vu when we started to assemble it. I just felt that I was back at the Botanical Gardens, where I don't know if it's still happening here in Montreal, our sweat lodge that Sedalia conducts. Is it still happening? If you have the opportunity to do it, go for it.
Hi, I'm Nuha. It's also my first sweat lodge, and I felt like a little one, in awe of learning something special. And I really enjoyed the connection of building that in a team and collaborating to do that. And I look forward to Saturday.
That's good. Hi, I'm Dr. Mel. Some of my students are here. Tanse, Joseph is one of my elders, and it's nice to meet you, Yvonne, and thank you for the invitation. Hi. This is so sweet, and it feels like a real sort of place to rest or reprieve, you know, from everything that's going on. It's nice to hold those rocks. I've been in sweat before. I haven't constructed one, so I'm really looking forward to Saturday. I think it'll be very special. But this feels like a good foray into, what's to come. So I'm excited. Thank you. Hi.
Hi, my name is Carmen, and besides from everything you guys have said, what I take from this experience is the playfulness, that it's also helping bring in that light and that love. I think that's very important, connect with our childhood spirit and yeah, with that sense of playfulness. And thank you for sharing also so many elements with so much depth in such a short time. I think it will be remembered by doing, and so thank you. Thank you for sharing it this way.
Hi, my name is Caro. Naytowhow for all the teachings and the learning for me through all the process. It's been very powerful and actually absolutely unexpected in that space for me this morning. So I'm very grateful for you all to bring it that way. So thank you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Juliet. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and your teachings this morning. And thank you, Mo. It was just a really nice experience and a wonderful way to start the day.
Thank you very much for helping us to build a sweat lodge. It was nice and dark in there, and it was getting really hot. I couldn't breathe, so I have to get out of there and have some fresh air. Thank you for building it really good, solid, and the rocks were nice and hot. With splashing that was really good. Make you sweat. Hey, nanaskuntna.
So maybe what we can do is just bring some chairs. They just go in a circle here. Bring your chairs. We'll sit around in a circle, have a little story and protocol about the sweat lodge. It's Utagiano Kapano, Yvonne and Mo will sit here. We could move that back a little bit, yeah, with our fires. So beautiful. So beautiful. That's great. Put it in the middle there. Yeah, great. Let's join in with circle. That's more. Thank you. Yeah. So the missing details in this old tradition, old ceremony, are how one earns a sweat lodge, how one actually acquires through nehiyaw and Cree worldview. That's the missing part. And without the experience of having been in this ceremony and sweat lodge, it doesn't really activate anything. You know, you have to have been there to have seen it. Your body has to be within it to see it. And that's how I started. I was in an accident, and I went to see my father, and he said, "We'll take you to a sweat," because my father's a sweat lodge holder from way back. So he took me there, and I had a fractured pelvis and the whole thing. My whole body was just discombobulated. I got hit by a car in the mountains. So I came back, and seriously, I went into this lodge for 4 rounds, and I came out and I could walk, and my fractured pelvis was helped, you know, but not completely healed, but at least I could get out and walk. And the things that are missing are you have to have a dream. That's a dream is the number one protocol, to dream about this actual lodge. And then, like, for example, when I went for a few years, all of a sudden the dream told me, this is going to be your gift, your ceremony, your way of, you know, giving to the world, giving back. So I'm in this dream, I'm going towards and I'd already been kind of like cruising, you know, searching, touring, you know, people tour spiritual practices, spiritual tourism, or I don't know what you call it. But there I am myself, touring New Age, Native American church, sun dance, horse dance, all these ceremonies I was going to. Then all of a sudden I'm transported into a couple places. I'm walking down this road and I see a house. And I go inside the house and there's a big pot on the stove. And I move this pot and there's a huge mushroom in there. I thought, well, I don't know if this is for me, but it looks really inviting. but I covered it up, and because I'd been to a Native American church a few years before that, and if people aren't familiar with Native American church, it's a peyote-based ceremony. So peyotes used from down south, way down south, and a lot of our people in our community, they use that. That's what their gift is to the world. And so I left that house, covered that mushroom up, walked out, and I'm walking down the road, and to the right I see people sweating. They're gathered around a sweat lodge, just sitting around, and they're having a sweat. And I recognize that because I've been to a sweat. So, those people. So they were sitting. So I was guided to go to the left. It's a little bush. And I look over to that little bush, and what do I see? I see rocks. It's like you saw rocks when you were gathering, right? And I saw the willows, and I counted. You can actually count in a dream. And I counted 16 rocks, and then there would be 16 willows. So that I was being informed, this is how many you'll need to use. Today we use 17 because Yvonne is part of Bagui Simon, the Sundance ceremony. And so we use an extra one to represent the center pole of a lodge. So now I use 17. And so before you get that dream, you can't really, unless you get it given to you in the family over the years that you've been working with there, then you don't entertain that idea. Well, I think I'll just build a lodge and start praying and helping people. And it has happened. I have seen people talk about that. I said, oh yeah, they start building one. This one guy called me, says, I've been doing sweats for 25 years. Really? Who gave it to you? Nobody. I just built it myself. But I guess everything was, I don't think he had a pipe. He didn't have the smudging, maybe. But he did the best that he could. But he made it his own lodge. It was European. I said, well, that's interesting. I said, the thing about Indigenous ways or nehiyaw is we never really interfere with anybody with what they're supposed to do or what they think they're supposed to do. We never say, you're not supposed to do that. That's not allowed. That's not whatever. So we just let them carry on, because it's the best way to learn is by experience, right? That's the best way to learn. The same thing goes. So that's a bit about the sweat lodge, and the protocols are involved. And I didn't include in there, some people will not take any drugs or alcohol 4 days before and 4 days after. So for us, it's not as, because sometimes people need a sweat right now. They can't wait 4 days down the road and say, oh, it's too much. Like my father used to, one time, he worked as a national native alcohol and drug abuse worker, and he ran a sweat lodge, and he healed through a Christian prayer or Anglican prayer and also a sweat lodge separately. Didn't put them together. When he was doing sweat lodge, he was doing sweat lodge. When he was doing circles, prayer circles, he was doing Anglican missionary kind of style. And so one time he was sweating, and this man came to his lodge, and he was he was hungover. He was hungover, and so my dad, oh, dance, good. Do you want to come in? Yeah, okay. So he threw him into the lodge in his hungover stage, and he splashed, and he splashed. It got hot in there, and the guy just sweated off all the alcohol probably. And he came out and he didn't come back in again. But he didn't refuse him, right? Maybe he needed it, right? He didn't refuse him. So there's a couple of things I wanted to share about this ceremony, because it leads to stories, experience-based, things that I've gone through. So I'll pass it over to Yvonne to talk a little bit about it from her experience, her life. And we sweat together and we work with this to help people, people from all over the world.
How tâpiskôc naasamine when I first start these things, like I was only 16 years old, and I didn't know nothing about it, but I keep dreaming of them. And I went and asked an elder. I took some tobacco to him, and I asked him, why am I dreaming of this? They want you to be a helper. What kind of helper could I be? Well, to start helping people, start telling them what to do. Well, I don't know nothing, I said. Those were my experience, because I didn't know nothing. And get to the point, like when I was 20 years old, my grandma took me to the sweat lodge. And I was kind of, I don't know if I should go in there. But then, you'll face something more worse than this. This is only the heat that you have to go in. You have to go in. If you don't want to go in, okay, that's you. That's going to put your stuff aside. So I did. I went in, try and be brave for her, which I shouldn't be doing. I should have been doing it for myself, not for my grandma. But I did anyway, so we went in a sweat. And from then on, once I got in a sweat, I couldn't resist after that. It was just beautiful, just relaxing. You give all your worries to the rocks, because they're right in the center. And what my thought, like, how can I talk to? That's how bony I was. That's how dumb I was. I was the one that was stubborn, the most stubborn one in the family. And I have to face everything. So I did. And after the first sweat coming out, my brothers and sisters were teasing me. And I said, then that's when I opened my eyes. There's the love that I was avoiding. I didn't want to get involved in love. I didn't want to get involved with my family. I was more like an outsider. That's where I was. I was alone, a loner. So after I came out from the sweat, I was a different person, and they all looked at me. What's wrong with you? What happened to you? They were asking me what happened. I said, I don't. What do you mean? What happened? You're different. You're not the same mean girl that went in. And I said, oh, really? Was I that bad? Well, anyway, that's how it started. And my grandma was sitting there with me. See, I told you you'll be a different person. Did you see anything? And I asked my grandma, and my grandma asked me, did you see anything in there? I did, but I'm not supposed to tell you. So she kept asking me, what did you see? A little old lady. She kept going round and round, and she'll come and sit beside me, and she'll do this to me. And I try to push her away like this, but she keeps coming around. She'll come and she wants me to pray. So I did, and I didn't know how to pray, my own way. Nehiyaw, nehiyaw. I didn't know that. And she kept doing this. Finally, she got a rattle. She hit me with a rattle. Oh, that smartened me up, that waked me up. I think that's the one that started me off with, was that rattle. See, that rattle is really, really powerful. It was. When she struck me on the head, just like there's a light flash right in front of my eyes. And I see all these people. They were doing sundance. they were doing sun dance. On this side, they were doing a chicken dance. And on this side, they were doing, I don't know what they were doing. There was a bear and a buffalo in there standing together like this that I couldn't figure it out what it was. But going this way, it was so bright. A lot of people were laughing and they were hugging and kissing. And I said, am I supposed to do that? So I just kept looking around. But with this in the center, coming through the door, there's this beautiful woman that walked in. This is in the sweat lodge. I walked in and came around like this, dressed in white, buckskin dress, and she said, right there. I knew that was a great-grandmother spirit that was sitting right in front of me, sitting right beside, just like I was sitting right here, but she came around and she said, right there. And another one came in, and she said, right there. And those are the grandmothers that are looking after the door. Those are the doorkeepers. So they don't let anybody to come in that's not clean. Like what I mean, not clean is when they're drinking and when they're, I don't know, half cut or something like that anyway. And they were talking to me, this is your job. You have to start it. I was only 20 years old. They told me they want me to start this, but me, I'm so stubborn, I didn't start it until 98 when I started. I was 42 when I started. So and in 91 and 97, his parents came over to our place and we had a sweat lodge. And that's when I was adopted by his parents, to be her parents, because my mom and dad passed away in 97, in 87. My mom in 83, and my dad in 87. So I was really glad to have parents to adopted by him, his parents. And that's when he became my brother, adopted way. And that's the strongest thing that anybody can have, to get adopted by natives, especially his family, that we didn't even know. I was really proud to have him as a brother, and he brought me here. And he was the one with me with the first flight, which I'm really happy to be here and be accepted like a family. That's how it is. And that's how it's going to feel when you're in a sweat lodge. You're just like one whole family. And that's the kind of love that you'll receive.
Maybe should we do a drum story for this afternoon? Yeah. Kiway. Okay. We want to sing a song for someone special here. And Jay, can you hold on to this? Somebody turned 20 years old today. Somebody had a birthday today. You want to sing birthday? Yeah. It's good to honor.
18, close enough.
The birthday song is from back home. I don't know who composed it, but it's like a song that's sung at round dances, sweat lodges, just gatherings. And this one says, Naytowhow, my relative, miyo-maskihkiy, that means many times. Happy birthday. And you will you will look forward to, or else you will see many more. And then the last part is happy birthday. So that's the song.
I missed you, Joe. We haven't been in the same physical space for a while now, and since they arrived yesterday, you know, we were like, we live in the city, right? And so one of the things I like to do is like when I'm walking through the streets, like going into the Rue Elvert and back alleyways, and just recognizing all of our plant relatives who live with us and among us. And, you know, I was a little worried. I'm like, where am I going to find willow? And we got to get cedar. And I know that there's willow at Jari Park, you know, the beautiful weeping willow near the pond. And so I just went for a little walk the other night, and we found this beautiful willow bush just like creeping over the fence. And I was like, yeah, this is public territory. But just, you know, stuffing the willow, putting the tobacco down, putting the willow in my little bag, and then finding some cedar, and then the stones we grabbed from somebody's front garden, you know, and the sticks, you know, were hanging out on the edge of the road. But I guess for me, it's just a reminder that ceremony is in everything we do, and it's in everywhere we go. And even though living in a city can feel really kind of heavy and intense, you know, can we see every single pothole as like a potential fireplace, you know? And that orange pylon, that's the fire, you know, coming up in the city. I was very lucky to get to start to go into Matotsan. So, you know, when I think, it's also nice to know Mato means to cry. So when I think of Sweat Lodge as someone who does not have trouble crying, I'm a baller, but it's such an important place because it's like we come into this world crying. You know, when we first take that breath, the first thing most often that babies do is they cry. Like, I have reached the air, but I preferred it inside the womb. It was so cozy and warm, and I had everything I needed. And it was, you know, I was wrapped in like liquid and beautiful, like fluidity. And so, you know, for me, going into the Matotsan is really about going back into that womb space. And when Yvonne says, oh, it's so dark in here, like you can't see anything, but you can see everything from inside that space, you know? And it's the space where whatever needs to come out can come out. And we don't have that opportunity so much in life. It's not really politically correct to like break down in the middle of, you know, this university. to need to weep, to need to scream, to need to, fully express oneself. And so, Matot San is such a gift to us, the two-leggeds, from the earth and from all of those willow beings and all of those stone beings, as an opportunity to return to that birthing space and to be rebirthed. And I'm not talking about new agey rebirth, it's like you come out covered in dirt and snot hanging out of your nose, but you come out cleaner than you've ever been, So, and I'm so grateful for the opportunity to be able to sit in different lodges, So the teachings that our nehiyaw elders here share are very specific to the ways they've learned. But, there's folks in the South who do temescal. I've sat in Wemotashi with the Atikamekw people and sat in star lodges, where each of the stones and each of the rounds, has all that embedded meaning. And how beautiful that you can pick up a stone and that stone holds the memory of the stars, and that stone holds the memory of the interplanets, and that stone holds the memory that's going to help us to sweat, that's going to help to loosen and open and awaken. And it's just fire, water, stone, and air. So, when we think about those 4 directions, we think about those 4 elements, and we move through those 4 directions inside the lodge, and it's just as simple as that. But there's so much power and there's so much possibility in that. And so, yeah, I'm really grateful to be able to have sat with everyone and built this lodge. And it is really what we said, it's in the doing. What do we say? It's like waskawêwin. So waskawêwin is like in the movement, and tâpiskôc, which is in the work, and gagisimowin, which is in the prayers, and nigamowin, which is in the songs. And the ishkoteo, how do we help to send those prayers to all of those who are living with the fires right now? How do we keep sacred fire, the kotawan awa, those fires which are our home fires? And so once you carry these teachings from today, you get to take these teachings with you. And so they become part of your bundle. And so now when you see a willow tree, you can say, hi, willow. Shake its hand. When you hold a stone, you can know that that stone was brought into this lodge. When you sip your water, you can know that that water was splashed as a way to bring on the sweat, as a way to bring those tears forward as the reminder. And so those things exist anywhere and everywhere. And so, yeah, that's it for me.
We talked a lot about, you talked a lot about birth, and I think that's very important in the lodge. I also had a lot of conversations today with Yvonne about grief, and I've dealt a lot with grief, and I feel like it's something that the lodge is like almost helps you kind of heal with, because I guess when you talked about that story of seeing your ancestors come in, I feel like connecting with your ancestors in the lodge is something that helps you deal with grief in the real world. Not only grief of like people you've lost, but also grief of, things you feel like you missed out on, grief of, people you don't talk to anymore, grief about who you used to be. And I really feel like today, when I was in our little mini lodge, I felt like a lot of that grief I have for myself right now was kind of floated away. So yeah, I just wanted to highlight that grief is important, but not to hold on to try and heal it, because we all have a lot of habits that we have that are not very traditional or ceremonial, that I feel like could be replaced and would help deal with all of those feelings of grief.
Just for Saturday, if anybody knows where there's nice, that size of willows, you know, or we'll need some in case you have some in your backyard or somewhere. Or if you're driving somewhere, pick up maybe 4 or 5 of them. We need 17 too, yeah, we need 17. So I don't know what's out there in Nadalia's land, but we'll be looking, scouring the forest. So I'll pass it over. Yes, don't forget to put the stem out.
Thank you. Oh, well, my heart is just so filled and warm. Beautiful experience today. And I just want to give a little gift to each of you for coming. And so, Jay, it was a really pleasure to meet you. And I hope that our paths will keep crossing, and we'll have to find a way that you can come to the Sweat Lodge on Saturday. Yeah, yeah. Yvonne, I'm so delighted to meet you, and I hope that I can keep sweating with you. We've started our sweating relationship, and who knows, I'll maybe bring some young ones to Saskatchewan, and here's a little gift for you, and thank you so much. Can I give you a hug? And I'm so proud of you with the airplane. Yeah, who knows what'll happen next? So Mo, I want to thank you for bringing in the, my mom calls them the miyo-maskihkiy, the little people. This does remind us of the little ones, and they taught us the Sweat Lodge, right? At least that's what I heard. And just really excited to be working with you this week and to help you in your master's process, and what happens after that, we'll see. Yeah.
My face is super.
Yeah, so Adelia, thank you so much for your role in helping to organize everything and bring the teachers here, and just a little gift, yeah. And I want you to meet Maya. She's working with me, and she's been taking some notes, and we're going to do some writing and sharing of the knowledges. And I just wanted to thank you. Yeah, and I look forward to hopefully a long working relationship with you. And Joseph, we've had this gift here for you for 3 years. So I'm just so excited to present it to you, and I think you should open it. Yeah. Well, we met in Saskatoon a long time ago and brought you some tobacco, but I didn't bring this, so let's have a look here. Yeah, thanks to Juliet, the Christmas wrapping paper. Yeah. For those listening at home, it's a portrait of Joseph Naytowhow. That's done by Trina Slapkoff. Yeah. So there. So we just need a closing song, and then we're gonna all go to shift for lunch, and I hope you'll join us this afternoon for some singing and drumming and storytelling and some mischief. If Mo's there, for sure there'll be some mischief.
There'll be mischief. We'll head over to shift, and Midnight Kitchen is catering. And we've got the big drum, the miyo-maskihkiy, the big buffalo drum, who's already set up and waiting for us over there. So we'll get that started at just before 1 o'clock. I see that my helpers have gone, so they're probably setting up the food as we speak. But I just really want to say kananaskumtin to Kathy, for all of the manifesting that you're doing and have been doing through this Indigenous Healing Knowledges Chair. We need an Indigenous Healing Knowledges Chair in every university and every post-secondary. We drove past McGill on our way here, and it was just like, is there any saving you? So I just want to say thank you, for helping to welcome these elders and knowing that we needed to have this day and this gathering and that it continues. And I hope that next time we can do like a multi-day gathering and we can be out on the land, with many of our medicine people in ceremony. And Dr. Mel's here doing good work. We're going to close off with one more song. Hi, thank you. And this is a song that Yvonne taught me in the fall, and I'll let her speak more to the song. But, I'm speaking a lot about the tâpiskôc, the buffalo. And Joseph spoke a lot about buffalo, the Buffalo Lodge. Buffalo were the center of our life. Buffalo were our clothes, our food, our homes, our ceremonies. And so, a large part of this rematriation and this, repair and healing process really goes hand in hand with those relations as well. And there's a huge process happening right now in the prairies and in the mountains. Bison belongs, so rematriating the bison back into the prairies and back into those territories, and nation-to-nation agreements between humans and the Buffalo Nation, I want to say. So we're going to sing a buffalo song, and maybe you want to share a little bit about this song, Yvonne?
Oh, you can mimic buffalo?
Hi, asaminak. Hi, asaminak nanaskum. No, thankful that. Thank you for this gathering. Oh, it's just beautiful. I can't thank you guys enough. That especially when we start building a sweat lodge, that was really, really something. And this buffalo song that one time I was sitting in a lodge, and I hear something, just like something's coming. I closed my eyes, here there were buffaloes just coming towards me. And I was going like this. Here the grandmother came and talked to me. You're supposed to sing a song. I said, I don't know a buffalo song. Then she started singing in my, close by me. She started singing that song. She sang it 4 times, started 4 times in a row, like as always, that's the way it's supposed to be like. But she told me that I'm supposed to sing this to the grandfather buffalo. And I waited and waited to have an opening, but seems like they didn't, they just kept going and going. Finally, I opened my mouth, which I never did. I opened my mouth and I said, I'm supposed to sing this song. What song? Then I just start singing really low. Then all of a sudden I was just singing out loud. It came out. And I was listening to myself, just like I was listening to somebody else instead of me. But here I was singing way up there. But I was sitting in a lodge. So that's nothing new to me for the grandfather to be singing there. He was singing to me, but here it was me that was singing, using my voice. And I was really surprised when I heard my voice up there. How can that be? I'm sitting here, and this one is up there. Okay, I said, and I pick a smudge, put it on the rocks there. And it just started sparkle, the sparkle here, I didn't know. I grabbed they must have told me to grab that cedar. It was powder, and I put it there. Oh, it was that like that. Cedar was so beautiful. It just glowed, sparkling all over. And that smudge I put in there stayed there until the song was over. That's how long it was. So we'll sing that song for you, and thank you for listening.
Saturday we'll do it 4 times.
Well, we'll sing 2 more rounds at the end of the day, so you gotta stick around for the last 2 rounds. French toast is totally up there now. Yeah. Well, thank you, everyone. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, we've received these tobacco ties, and tobacco moves first. So if ever you're, wanting to ask a question from an elder or wanting to get maybe some support with something, we just recommend you bring a little bit of tobacco. Thanks so much to Fourth Space for hosting us.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Kathy, Mo, Jay, Joe, and Yvonne. Also, I'm just going to let everyone know online that we're going to close up the Zoom. And we're going to close up the live stream, but it remains available on our YouTube channel, and obviously you should visit it again and share it. But imagine it's time for lunch, so get out of here.